Yeah, just stay inside and stay warm.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Well, gentlemen, since we are trying out this happy and uplifting thing, perhaps it is time for us to also take a quick detour over into films, things that are in actual theaters, like they were in our great grandfather's times.
The old talkies.
Oh, nope, sorry, not that one.
Oh,
Oh,
that's
wait. No, hang on. That is not the one.
He's new, folks.
Yeah, what the heck is going on?
I didn't do that. I haven't added anything to the screen yet, but I think you were getting ready. You were going to talk about Man of Steel, yeah?
There we go. Not Man of Steel. Superman.
Well,
Man of Steel.
The Man of Steel.
Man of Steel. Man of Steel is the 2013 Superman movie starring Henry Cavill and Henry Cavill, as directed by Zack Snyder, which the Snyder Bros are still butthurt over 12 years later. This, on the other hand, well, except we can't see any Superman here. All right. I'm sorry, chat. There we go. Let's get a little bit of Superman in there. Oh, that's much better. So this Superman movie was surprisingly good. I was quite pessimistic, but there were some nice things about it. First of all, it is a combination sort of the Golden Age, 1938 Superman, and the Silver Age. So there is a little bit of silliness about it, but unlike the Snyderverse movie where Superman snaps people's necks, here Superman tries to save everyone. Now, of course, he punches the crap out of everyone and everything that needs to be punched. Generally, the violence is very cartoony, sometimes a little too cartoony, but overall acceptable. There is nothing untoward in the sense of with Lois Lane. It is a very respectable relationship. They've just started dating, and he makes her dinner in her apartment, and nothing else happens. So it's something that you could take kids to. The story, of course, includes Lex Luthor and his designs on taking over the world, starting by taking over a country, which is directly from the pages of Superman issue 1. And it is overall a fun trip. Superman is fun. Crypto is not as annoying as I thought he'd be. It does set up a wider DCEU. You have Nathan Fillion as Guy Gardner. Hawk Girl shows up. Mr. Terrific, and Supergirl, who apparently is getting a movie next year. They are sort of the main
Hold on to your butt.
Yeah, they're already leaning into Supergirl will be a drunk slut.
Yes.
So
yes.
Yeah.
Now there have been comic series where Supergirl has been a drunk slut. She's been a crappy teenager. I don't know that we need that. But we will have to see what happened.
I always felt with Superman that the part of the vibe was the sort of gee golly wholesomeness, and you left the dark stuff to Batman. You left the dark stuff to the darker characters, and that you could have this. Can we just not have one superhero who's just it's like the Marvel's version would be Spider-Man. He was always pretty upbeat, things were always pretty cool. Other Marvel characters would be deep and angsty and everything, but Spider-Man was always jolly, and Superman had that sort of sense of invulnerability, right? That he couldn't be touched by that kind of stuff. And oh
Now-
man, everything got so angsty.
I know the darkest I ever wanted to see Superman portrayed was when he was crying over Lois's dead body in 1978 Superman.
Yep.
Yes.
Like that ugly, angry cry, and he's then like, "No, I am actually gonna break the laws of physics and of ethically right and wrong and reverse time to save. I am gonna do exactly that." You guys know the scene.
To save one life, yes.
To save one life. So I definitely think that's as dark as I ever wanted Superman to be, and they played it off excellently. Richard Donner did back in '78. So the whole what was that thing with Cavill and shit, I forget. No, he was Ben. What's his name? Fighting him on the on top of the building.
Oh yeah, the Superman, Batman, Superman.
Yeah. Why did you say her name? Come on,
Martha.
Yeah.
Yeah. So tonally, this one is much more like the original. Well, I shouldn't say original, but the 70s Superman starring Christopher Reeves. So tonally, it's great. I'll get into the two things that I didn't like, which might be something you did like there, Padre. But I would say that Superman is good, especially in the sense that he is always trying to save people and to avoid hurting people, as opposed to a lot of the superhero movies we've had, which don't mind the collateral damage. There's one part, it's in the previews, but there is a kaiju that is attacking Metropolis, and Superman, he could kill it. It's very clear if he wanted to, but he's trying not to, and he's doing things like he's trying to keep it from knocking into big buildings, so he's like flying, trying to push it there.
Kaiju-proof the city.
Yeah,
exactly. When you have a baby, you got to baby-proof your house. Got to kaiju-proof the city. Big padded corners on the buildings.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. The Justice Gang, as some of the other heroes are calling themselves. And they did have the Hall of Justice, which was very cool from the Super Friends show.
Nice.
They were not as concerned about keeping it alive.
I imagine Guy Gardner's Green Lantern was probably, no, I don't care.
Yes.
Just hitting the comments for a second, Jorge. I think everyone tries to forget Metamorph. But just putting that out there, and hello, great old ones.
So yeah, it overall was very good. Now, there's two things that I do not like about modern Superman, and they unfortunately show up in this. So in this, Ma and Pa Kent are still alive.
Yeah.
But they made them like the fattest, most unattractive hicks you've ever seen in your life.
Yeah.
And the problem with that is, first of all, there are very few fat farmers, if you actually know farmers, because they're working all day. I mean, it might have a little bit of pot belly, but he's not going to be fat.
I had a farmer in my parish. Had a farmer who was about, luckily he was made out of pipe cleaners, except just wiry strong. Just wiry strong.
So if they're a little bent over, it's probably because of tractor back. It has nothing to do with sloth.
No. I mean, exactly. And like, I'm not going to say that farmers are like the height of fashion, but it was like, did you dress them as ugly as you possibly could on purpose? Or did you just, tell people, do your best farmer impression? So it was, that was weird. Also, they talked like, I don't know, like they had the IQ of Forrest Gump a lot of times. And the other thing I don't like is I don't like they call Superman the Boy Scout. That's wrong. Superman like is just stone cold. If you go back and you read the original 1930s run of Superman, like he only acts like a goofball in front of Lois. If he's confronted by thugs, they'll have their guns. Yeah, we'll get you, buddy. And Clark would be like, "Yeah, go for it," as he proceeds to beat the crap out of them and tie their guns up into knots. But it's only like if Lois is there that he'll jump in the bushes and stuff like that.
Yeah. It was the same way with Reeves Superman in
Yep.
'78. He was going to do something bad to Lex Luthor before Lex showed him the kryptonite.
Yep.
I mean, it is very, very apparent that he's not Lex is in trouble and he knows it. So
yeah, and in this movie they played him off as too naive. Like he told everyone in the Justice Gang his Clark Kent identity. And so there's one point where Lois is talking to them and he's like, "Oh my God, he told you guys too." So they make him like more than nice. They make him naive. And I think that it does not play well for Superman because a naive man is a weak man. Clark Kent, if you read the original ones, he was smart. He's a whip smart investigative reporter. But he's not played off that way. He's just played off as naive. There's they show it in the previews as well, so no spoilers, but like Lois is interviewing him and like he can't read the room and he can't understand why people might be afraid of him or mistrust him. And and it actually brings up the third thing that I really hate about modern Superman, which is that everybody knows he's an alien for some reason. How do you know he's an alien? He doesn't have antenna on his head. He doesn't look any different than anyone else. So unless he's going out and telling everyone that he's an alien, who would know that?
Why do people know that? Well, and to let people know that, of course, opens him up to his one great weakness, because then if you know that he comes from Krypton, I mean, frankly, with Earth technology, even now, you wouldn't be able to do what Lex Luthor did in the '79 movie.
Send a space probe and
to send a space probe, find a chunk of a specific planet that was blown up. Like, it's ridiculous. But given that we're in a comic book, once you know that he's from this alien world within and you can piece together that maybe a part of that world would bring him down to our level of strength, you have that tool. So why you'd let people know is odd.
And it doesn't bother me if Lex figured it out because he's supposed to be super smart, but like the average person on the street. I did say it was a family-friendly movie. I do have to admit, you will have to explain to your kids what a harem is, which was another like, ew, what's going on there? But it seemed unnecessary to me, but they went with it, I guess.
So much is. Speaking of Lex Luthor, though, I found that Nicholas Hoult, however you say his name, very good take on it. I mean, utterly different, obviously, from Gene Hackman. Very different from the nervous energy of what's his name, Eisenberg. Did he play Eisenberg?
Yes.
Yeah. Very different energy. The cool, absolutely detached, and that brilliance that Luthor's supposed to have. That, God bless Gene Hackman's take on him. It was hard to believe that the character talking was accomplishing the things that he did, unless it was an act or him just being goofy. But this one, you really, the detachment, the utter unconcern for anything that's happening. He just doesn't give two figs, right? And it's got this almost robotic, but beautifully done, I think.
It's great because one of the best features of any superhero comic is when you sort of have like a yin and a yang, when the main hero and the main villain are sort of polar opposites of each other, and that's what you get here, where you have Superman who's maybe overly concerned about saving everyone and being concerned that there's peace, whereas Lex is he's like without a conscience.
And that could be part of the point of bringing that, you know, more vulnerable version of Superman out, though, right?
Yes.
To make a and to lessen the sort of indifference to what's happening, to make him more compassionate, right? Because he acts to save people. He's always acting to save people, and this just gives him the sort of emotional accompaniment to that. Like, he's saving people not because it's the right thing to do, but because he actually genuinely wants to save people. Like, he's concerned for them, he's worried about them, and he wants to help.
Yes, and there is one finer point that somehow James Gunn got, which almost nobody who writes Superman for like the last 50 years has gotten, is the way that Superman acts is based on his upbringing in a Midwestern farm. And one of it is the things is like a sense of obligation, you know, like your neighbor's fence is broken, you're going to fix it if you see it, if you can. You know, if your neighbor can't shovel their driveway in the winter, you're going to shovel it for them. And this is like how Clark is treating the world, like on a larger scale. There's to start off, there's potentially a war in a Latin American country, and he stops it because he can stop it. Like, he's like, no, I can prevent all these deaths. And then, you know, there's Lois gets on like the morality of like, well, is it moral for you to, you know, stop it and this and that? But he has that
U.S. foreign policy. U.S. foreign policy.
Well, Lex is working for the U.S. government, so
Hello, Bronze Age caveman.
Hey, Bronze Age. Good to see you.
Yeah, it is. It's a nice touch. It's a nice subtlety.
Yeah. So, I mean, it is a little bit of a goofier movie. Although I will say that you know, all the other characters were written well. So hopefully they will get the tone of the DCEU right without going too far on the goofiness, which is sort of one problem I have with the Marvel universe now, after Gunn's Guardians of the Galaxy.
It's just joke. And it fit Guardians of the Galaxy. It worked.
Yes.
Because of all the Marvel properties, that might be the weirdest. Or at least the sort of goofiest. It's the most prone to that. It's just a strange, it's not as straightforward as a Spider-Man or Iron Man or one, you know. So, but it gets, because it worked there, well, then that's what we do. We'll do the jokes all the time. And it starts to get tiresome after a while.
I agree.
Well, one thing I can say about post 78 Superman is as badly paced, and it was badly paced, as Superman Returns was. Kevin Spacey channeled Gene Hackman perfectly. Yeah, because that's what he. It was the Lex Luthor from 1978. It was supposed to be the Lex Luthor from 1978, and Spacey did a great job. Like, I could have absolutely seen it if they could have gotten Hackman in that role, or if they had filmed that instead of that the third Superman movie. You know, if they had filmed it all back then, I just thought it was pitch perfect. I've heard say, I haven't seen it yet, but I've heard say that the latest Superman movie, they're obviously leaning really hard into, you know, if you scramble up the letters and squint at it in the dark, Lex Luthor spells Jeff Bezos. And I'm just like, I don't care. You know, I get it. Bald man bad. Okay, I get it. not our bald man. He'll be he'll be in control of the world with us soon enough. But
I'm still pretty bad.
Fair enough.
He's drinking out of a black coffee cup. I mean, come on. People.
Yeah.
With my firm grip on the world.
But that's all I have to say. It sounds like a perfectly wonderful film,